Firstly, I welcome all of you all to join me here, and a very good morning to everyone. Before now I start the class, live class and show you all what exactly I'm going to teach today. Shall I show you all quickly what are you all going to learn? This is my first live video, so please excuse me. I think, yes, you all can see me now. Yes. I hope now the project is not ulta. It's quite straight. This is a very beautiful mixed media key holder. Decoupage cum mixed media combined together, and you can open the door and you can have some letters inside, and at the same time you can also have some key hung here. Now what I'll be doing is I'll start, and as you all know, there is a little bit of decoupage in this. So I'll first give you all a little basics, a little brief about decoupage. I know many of you all have been doing decoupage since a very long time, and we all know what is decoupage all about. Decoupage is nothing else but learning to create various bases with different pre-cuts of paper. Basically, the paper could be anything, you could be inspired of the design, say maybe from the newspapers, or say it could be magazines, and you could just fussy cut those images and inlay it on any base in such a way from a distance you do not come to know whether it's a painting or whether the paper has been actually pasted on the base. And even when you touch it, you feel it, you wouldn't come to know what is the difference between the base and the paper. It's absolutely flat and smooth. This is a paper from Decomania. Here, and the first step for decoupage is fussy cutting. I'll cut a small piece of paper and show you all how to do fussy cutting. I'm sure many of you all do it, and right materials are going to give you the right results. This decoupage paper is barely 70 to 80 GSM. The thinner the paper, the better for decoupage. The thinner the paper, the easier it is used and the easier it is to collage to the background. For fussy cutting, what is the most important step for fussy cutting is your fussy cutting scissor. The right scissor is going to give you the right result. And one of the best scissors that I have come across out of maybe more than 15-20 scissors in my entire collection, the one of the best is this VR Memory Keepers. It's available with crafterscorner.in. Don't miss onto this. I am sure you would love this once you buy it. It can actually cut the paper to the highest precision. Many of you all have already been using this, and they have told me, ma'am, this is a wonderful scissor. What you're going to do is, the first step, you're going to cut off plain paper absolutely quite near to the image that you want to cut. So roughly cut out the extra paper first. Thereafter, exactly on the image, turn your paper, not the right hand of your scissor. Turn the paper which is on your left hand and start cutting. At times the images are so faded, you're barely able to distinguish between the white paper and the outline of the design. Simply use your own judgment and do some kind of serrated edges so that you get a nice shape to the petal. Try to go as close and as deep to the design. So I think this makes it a little easy, and there is one small portion that I want to explain. That is this. Coming to these tiny little buds, this becomes the most intricate work or the most intricate part of cutting. Ilaji, this is VR Memory Keepers, and this is available at crafterscorner.in. You could just grab them today for yourself and I'm telling you, you would be really telling me, wow ma'am, this is a really wonderful scissor for fussy cutting. It's absolutely long, sleek and super easy to cut. Coming back to this tiny areas where you really need to do some kind of detailing, be a little extra careful with these tiny little buds. I cut it off and we would join them when we are actually sticking it onto the base. After fussy cutting comes the next step is coloring the base. This is an MDF base which has been given base coat with chalk paints. Chalk paints are one of the best paints for decoupage, for doing it on any kind of wooden bases. If you have a wooden base, you need not do any kind of primering, you need not do any kind of gesso. You can directly give your base coat with chalk paint, and one of the best chalk paints that I have ever used is Folk Art Home Decor chalk paints. They are so thick in consistency, and if you see, the quality is amazing. It is uncompatible with any other qualities that I have come across so far. And the consistency of the paint, I'll just pour it out, you can see. Just see the consistency. Look at the thickness. Look at the quality. Can you all see? It's just amazing. You take a brush. You simply give a base coat. I'll show you all on one side. And allow it to dry. I prefer using a blow dryer so that it dries very quickly. We do not use heat tools for decoupage. Heat tools are meant to use for mixed media majorly and not for decoupage. Try to use your basic simple hair dryer, or I really prefer a blow dryer. This dries in minutes, less than a minute. You use a sandpaper 180 number, or you can use how to avoid the strokes left over from the brush. Drishti, it's a very good question. If it comes to a base coat, the strokes are really not going to matter, because thereafter you are going to sand it. This is a sand block from Folk Art. Please excuse me, this is really in a bad shape. My original two pieces are on my parcel all the way back from Calcutta. So this is the one that I am using. It's very handy. The grip is excellent, and trust me, it lasts for a very long time. Sonal, the box and the base, we are having it. I'll just send you all the details once the video is, once the live is over. After you give one coat, we do sanding. Sanding will make the base entirely smooth. After you have finished the sanding, you are again going to give a second coat. In the second coat, if you find you are getting some strokes and you're really not very happy with those strokes, what you can do is, you can quickly take a sponge with you and you can immediately dab it on those strokes. And you will see a nice, smooth, uniform base. And I think this should solve your query, Drishti. So this is how you can actually smoothen it. Being a live demo, I have already done those two steps and kept it ready for y'all. so that we can quickly move ahead to the next part of it. Now, after this, I am going to come to design or to compose. Now, when it comes to composition, I know there is a window here. These are the miniature accessories from Dress My Craft. They are Doris, the sand block is available in crafterscorner.in. You can buy it from there. You can go on, when you open the website, on the left you have a section called decoupage material. In decoupage material you have colors, you have tools, you have the papers. You go to the tools and over there you will be finding this sanding block. And as I was coming back, you know that this is my box, which is a letter box. At the same time, this is a key holder. This is a quite for a homely use. Keeping that in mind, I had loved to use these miniatures accessories from Dress My Craft. I am totally in love with these miniatures. When especially it comes to combining with decoupage, or you're going to combine it with your mixed media. So I am going to place my door here. I'm going to place the window here. Knowing now how am I going to make the maximum use of my decoupage papers. I have done fussy cutting, and I have done fussy cutting exactly the way it is in the paper. I haven't right now cut anything extra. In the sense, this is the paper. We have all the possible details here. The way the design has been given to me, I have cut my paper accordingly. If my color becomes thick, can I use water? Yes, Madhuji, you can dilute it with water beforehand applying onto the base. So make it to the consistency which is like, easy for you to apply smoothly. As I said, I have simply cut the designs as it was given in the paper. Now I am going to compose it. Composition. This is another main element or main part of decoupage. Knowing that I have some flowers falling from the top and fine tiny flowers dropping down along with the buds coming along the way of this door and a little bit to the window. I am going to start placing. This is a paper from Decomania. This is available with Crafters Corner. And the COD 051 is the code number for this paper. These are special decoupage papers. This is another motif which I would just kind of play around and check how does it look. Towards the end, I would take a small tiny bud, and here I could play around with this. Not necessary that I'm going to use each and every element which are on the paper. I would like to chip off some of them. If we add water and dilute it, are there any chances of getting fungus to the article in the long run? No, Jinnu. If you are going to dilute the color, that is because you are diluting it just to make the color, the consistency of the color a little thin. That will never ever get fungus onto the base. If you leave the water in the bottle for a very long time and you do not use it and it is just lying definitely into your bottle of the color which is there, you will get fungus. But once the coloring is done, once the drying is done, once the glues and the varnishes are applied, you will never ever get fungus. So coming back to composition, I'll remove this door and window temporary, but before I compose, I know this is the area where my design is going to be placed. Now, if I had to put it on a plain surface, yes, it is looking good. But if I have to add some more depth to this design, I would do a little shading. Shading is always going to help you to add some depth. I'm sure there are a lot of people who are into mixed media. There are a lot of people who are painting and they know what are lights and shadows. The darks always add depth and the lights always show the object in the front. So before I paste my paper, I would quickly show you all how to do a shading. Once again, the shading can be done either with the help of the brush or with the help of the sponge. What I have done is I have taken a few colors which would go with this kind of a foliage. This foliage, something when it comes to foliage, we know the best color is green. Spanish moss from Home Decor. This is one of my real favorite color and it's a real superb olive green. It's the actual color which just added with another amazing color, that is vintage mustard. Vintage mustard is neither too lemon yellow, it's not too golden yellow. It's absolutely vintage. It's absolutely vintage and the name is so apt for it. So these two shades I have removed. I have also taken a little bit of red. I'll tell you why I have taken the red. Have you tried any other brands in chalk paint? If yes, which one do you still prefer? And any compromise, any comparison that you can share with us? Another good question, Drishti. So far, I have truly speaking not tried any other brand chalk paints. But there are a lot of reviews given to me by the students in the class because they must have used it. And when they have come to my class and they have used this, they have been super happy with Home Decor. They just told me that, this has excellent quality. The consistency is very thick. At the same time, it is very economical. If you see, I buy, say maybe in a ratio, if I have to talk, I buy 3 bottles of white compared to 1 bottle of yellow or 1 bottle of green. So the colors are so excellent. The consistency is thick, so thick that they really last you very long. And honestly speaking, I have used only Home Decor. So if you ask me personally, I wouldn't be able to give you the review about any other brands. And I still prefer the Folk Art chalk paints, especially for decoupage, because I think it's almost nearly coming to 2 years that I have been using this. And I have been taking huge corporate orders. I have made more than 5,000 pieces in the last 2 years. And being corporates, I would have got the feedback immediately from them because they are using it in their day-to-day lives. Till date, I have got excellent reviews even from them. So I think, yes, these are one of the best paints so far what I have used. Another excellent color. Which basic chalk colors we need to buy? Meera, as the live video gets over, in the comment box, I will just note down a few colors which I really love and I can't part with them. Since the time I have got in touch with these colors, there are around 12 to 13 shades and I am telling you, they are amazing. I can't part with it. And yes, as Shalini says, there are also smaller sizes which are very economical. You can explore them with different shades. Drishti, don't worry. The more you ask me, the more I am happier. The more you ask me, the more I would love to solve all your queries. Ask me as much as you want. In decoupage, I think I should pass this test. Okay, another favorite color of mine is Java. This is one color which I really use majorly. And this color which comes to me like in gallons. Shalini has called for, a big packing. Shalini would be able to describe the best for these. Shalini, you could just tell them which are the bigger sizes available in the some few colors which have been majorly used by me, or maybe could be used by anyone in short. So these are colors like sheepskin, which is off-white. Mosmi Vinay. This spreads like butter. I just love. Yes, Mosmi, I agree with you. They really spread like butter and the consistency and the quality is amazing. There is no comparison to this. Let me start on quickly to the shading part of it. If you notice in my box, the one that I have painted, if you notice on this image, what I have done is I have come in gradation. Whenever you are adding depth, you are going to add colors from dark to light. Coming to the shading part, if you see, I have done the greens on the top. I have added a few, say some yellows, and flowing down to it, I have added, if you can see, pinks. Whenever you are giving shadows or whenever you are giving depth, the more you use the colors matching to your first image, piece of art becomes more interesting. Your piece of art becomes more artistic. Shadows are generally grays and browns. We all know it. But adding the shadows matching to the color of your fore image, that is your front image, you are going to create very interesting depths over it. So I will quickly show you all how to do this little bit of a shading on the top part. And if you see, I have left the lower portion white because I'm going to use step 1, step 2 crackle on this. Priyanka, what about acrylic paints in decoupage? If I want to compare chalk paints and acrylic paints, then what can be the points of comparison? Good question, Priyanka. Acrylic paints are nothing else but they are chemical paints. First point. Second point, acrylic paints are meant for fabric. You cannot sand on those acrylic paints. They will peel off. If you are going to apply gesso and you are going to apply acrylic paints, they are going to peel off. You cannot really use them for a very long term. Secondly, decoupage, the word by itself says you are going to inlay the papers onto the raw bases. And when you are going to make up your raw bases from the root, chalk paints are the one which actually penetrate into the wood. Acrylic paints will never penetrate into the wood. Chalk paints will penetrate, and by sanding, they really give you a very super smooth finish which acrylics cannot give you. Acrylics are excellent for canvases. Not that you can't do it with acrylics, you can do it with acrylics. But the best result you will get it when you are going to use the chalk paint, especially on the wood. If we go for acrylic paints, which brand to use locally? According to me, acrylic paints are not supposed to be used for wooden bases for decoupage. And still, if you want to make your work a little economical, or if you're working with the kids and really seriously you're looking upon using it, you would go for artist acrylic paints. But still, I wouldn't prefer. Coming back to shading. Now, what I would do is, I had removed the colors a little long back, so I will take a little bit of green, I'll take a little bit of yellow, merging to the green, and I don't want these brush marks to be seen. I will quickly dab it, instant. Dabbing with the sponge gives me a very wonderful effect and a very wonderful depth. Now I want these colors to get blended with my background. That means I have to use a little bit of white, which is going to help me blend with my base. At the same time, I am not giving any defined line. It has to be haphazard. It has to be blended a little. So what happens is, you don't come to know from greens to yellows to whites. Where did my paint come and blend with the base? I just do not come to know. I'll use the other side of my sponge because my green is a little highly contaminated. These sponges are once again available with crafterscorner.in. If you go onto the website, on the left side you have decoupage material. When you go to the tools, you have the paints, the tools, you have the papers and everything over there. As I said, now we are going to add some interesting elements to the base. Yes, the green and the white by itself, they really look good. But when I'm going to add some pinks which are already in my decoupage paper, the background looks very much interesting. Yes, Mosmi, you get lovely chalk finish, which you can't get from the acrylic ones. That's a very good point, Mosmi. Thanks. This is really going to help the viewers know it. And you have attended my class in Bangalore for decoupage. And yes, we have used them. You know it. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to mix a little red with the white and create a light pink color here itself. A very absolute pastel baby pink color. And I am going to sponge dab a little bit of pink only on the outer edges here and there. At the same time, making sure it is not dominating my green and it is blending with the green and the yellow. Somewhere if I feel it has become a little too whitish, I will quickly take a little bit of a yellow, or I will take quickly a little bit of a green, and I will blend it. So this adds another interesting element where you see a little bit of pink, a little bit of green and a little bit of yellow. So my base is ready and I will quickly dry it. And if you notice, on the sides of my original base, I have done the same green color sponging on the 4 sides so that the entire base or the entire thing looks complete. Now, the time to use the paper for sticking. How are you going to stick it? How are you going to position it? How am I going to stick it to make sure that I do not get bubbles? The best glue that I have used so far for this is Mod Podge. Mod Podge I have been using from the year 2014. I have been doing a lot of my mixed media with this. I have stuck a lot of pattern papers to the bases along with Mod Podge, and yes, it is one of the best glue. And the best part about this glue is it is a glue, it is a sealer, and it is a finish. It is all in one for decoupage. You get various options in this. Say different finishes in this. There could be matte, there could be satin, there could be a lot of gloss, high satin, high gloss, and various glues are used for various purposes. The different glues are going to use for different bases. Maybe after the live video is over, I can just show you all which glues can be used. How I'll make the background with the tissue. For tissue, you need something which is plain. Even if you are having some kind of a shading, you cannot stick the tissue on the colored area because you would not be able to see the original design as the tissues are transparent. So you have to play with your designs in a different way when you are going to combine it with the tissue. Coming to the paper part, I'll take a brush, I'll take the glue. Now, knowing that I don't need these stems on the end, I will cut them off. I don't want certain elements, I will cut them off. I'll plan out my design, I'll plan out the position of my placement, and I'll just show you all how to stick this quickly, and then I'll move on to the main base. This is how Mod Podge glue can be used with the kids easily, Bhavita. This is excellent. Now, just pour out the glue. Spread the glue uniformly. Don't worry. Now, before I stick the paper, I'm going to stick only one edge, which I am sure of. Thereafter, I would scrape this out diagonally so that I do not have. Remove the extra glue. Do not use the scraper back onto the same position, or else you would end up putting the glue on the paper. Make sure you clean up so that this has no air bubbles at all. Always move diagonally and use this scraper. This is one of the best tool which anybody doing decoupage, it's really must screw. If you're going to use, say, any kind of a cardstock or any kind of, say, old credit cards or any kind of other things, those have thicker edges which might tear off your paper. The edges on these scrapers are rounded. This is from Ranger. Yes, it is available with crafterscorner.in. And this is another scraper, which is also available in like, two shades, say gray and white. You could actually use this rounded side, which is never ever going to tear your paper, and it is going to give you a super smooth effect. So you press it and you stick it. This is how you're going to complete on to the sticking of the paper, and thereafter we will go on to making this a little bit of a vintage look. To give a vintage look, I'll be using the step 1, step 2. Kavita Shah, the brand name, one is Ranger and the other one is available in Crafters Corner. If you go on to the decoupage material section, into the tools column, you will find the scraper. Maybe if Shalini is there, she could just either pass the link, or she could just, either say which brand it is. The gray one, and there is a white one also. There are two. I'm a little bad with the names. Shalini will help me out with that. After you have done your position, after you have done your placements, we go to the next step. That is making use of your step 1, step 2 crackle. So this is the base, which I have kept it ready since it was a live video. If you notice, the top I have done covered with the green sea sponging. Sponging. This is, green to yellow to white, giving a gradation so that it looks nice. Even on this side, this portion I have added a little bit of brown to add some depth. So this is, brown to green, that is Java to green. And this base is again sponging with just say one color, and you could also use 2 colors, nothing very hard and fast. If you are a mixed media artist, you could also do some stenciling on the sides and you can create a wall and all on the sides. Now coming and inside, knowing that there is a door coming here, and knowing that there is a window coming here, Shalini has shared the link for the scraper. All those who want it, you all can click onto the link. You can have the door placed here. You can have the window placed here. Now, before I place my door and the window, this door is once again, it's in the miniature section in Dress My Craft. And this is available in wood as well as it is already available in the colored pieces. And I have painted this door same with the white and the red. Somebody was asking what is the red. I'm little bad in pronunciation this name, but it is Bordeaux. Bordeaux. So that is the spelling of this. Can we use these scrapers while using the tissue paper or napkins for decoupage? I am asking because napkins are very delicate. Good question, Priyanka. You cannot use the scrapers for tissue. For tissue, for dabbing, I use the sponge. Sponge because the tissues are delicate. Sponges are the best to use for tissues, and never apply the tissue when the glue is wet. Coming back to these doors, we have the door in wooden finish and in colored finish. As I said, this is another door. This is also available with Crafters Corner. You can either color this, paint it the way I have painted it, or you can leave it like this, and I can show you how to make this door also antique with the waxes that we would be using. I'll just keep this door and the window aside. In the meanwhile, I will quickly move on to my step 1, step 2. This is one of my most favorite step 1, step 2 crackle. This is from Deco Art. Once again, it is available with crafterscorner.in, and you can place your orders or you can just pick them up. First step, I'll be using the step 1 crackle. When it comes to crackle, we have a lot of questions. Ma'am, I did not get the cracks. Ma'am, my cracks went too big. Ma'am, the cracks are not looking good. What to do? Now, the basic principle for cracks is you would be placing your glue or your top coat in a crisscross pattern. What is that crisscross pattern? I will quickly show you all. Take my step 1 crackle and please check your bottle twice before you take it in the hand that there is step 1 mentioned. Step 1, step 2 is available in Crafters Corner. Okay, as Shalini says, it is a little out of stock. Definitely you all can place your pre-orders. And pre-orders means first preference is given to you before the product goes online. And the minute you place your pre-orders with them, you will get them first. Pour out the step 1 and start moving in a crisscross pattern. Do not overdo it. It is a very thin glue. If you are not very confident, remove it into a palette. Step 1, step 2 is used generally after your base is ready. It is never used before your base is ready. It is always used after your paper is stuck. These are the cracks, transparent cracks, which develop on the top. And keep moving in a crisscross pattern. And I will quickly dry. Please do not use heat tools to dry. Either use the hair dryers or use the blow dryer. And you know what is the best part right now? Crafters Corner is having 10% discount on all the products. So you all can book your orders today itself. There is a major difference in heat tool and hair dryer, Mosmi. Heat tool has a very high intensity of heat, which is used to dry some kind of your mixed media colors and mixed media bases. Hair dryer is what you can use it for your actual hair. If you use the heat tool for your hair will burn. So imagine the heat into the heat tool. Heat tool is for excessive heat when your colors will take a real long time to dry. Why we will not do with the heat tool? Difference between the heat tool. Okay, Rituji, I just said it. Which is better to use, tissues or the Decomania papers? Both are in its place. Tissues give a different result. Decomania papers will give a different results depending upon your requirement and depending upon the outlook of your product or outlook of your design. You can use anything. Kavita, there is nothing very hard and fast, but I strongly believe in using the original decoupage papers. And there are many brands available in decoupage papers. If you visit Crafters Corner website, on the left hand side, you have the column called decoupage material. Into that, you have papers. Into that papers, you will have around 5 to 7, I think more than that. Shalini has, I think, all the brands under one roof. So you can really see the different papers over there. If you see, I'm moving my hand around. That means this has completely dried within seconds. Now comes the magic. This is the main part of the entire project. This is going to give you the true result and the final, the result of your all the efforts that you have been doing for such a long time. Brush. So I'll pour out step 2 crackle. This step 2 crackle is a little thick. So be a little careful when you are using this and make sure that your brush is thoroughly dry. The brush is not wet. If your brush is thick from here and if your brush has got some heavy loaded color at the base, make sure you take it under running tap water, wriggle it like this continuously. Till then you see clear water running through the brush. That means your brush is cleaned. Till then you do not see the clear water running through the hairs of this brush. Keep washing it. So I pick up the step 2. I load my brush with the step 2. I'm not going to take it too thick. Oh yes, Shalini, this is a big boon for me today. Without this Archon mount, I would not be able to do this. This was like something which I desperately needed it, and a big ton of thanks to you for getting this product to India. It is a boon, girls, for especially recording videos, and right now if I'm able to answer you, it's only because I have an iPad connected in front of me where I am able to see myself. At the same time, I'm able to read your comments and I'm able to answer you all, wherein my camera is on the top. This is a real big boon, the Archon mount, and they have sold out absolutely say in a day's time, and just place your pre-orders and you could, pick it up from there. Okay, I'm taking the step 2. It is thick. Crackle. The thicker you apply, the bigger and the wider the cracks. The thinner you apply, the super thin the cracks. The moderate you apply, you get moderate cracks. So depending upon your requirement, you place the quantity of the color onto the base. Now, if I am going to start from one corner, especially the top, I know my brush is loaded, so I will have good amount of color. At the same time, do not drag the brush till then your color is over. What will happen? Your cracks will start getting thinner because the quantity of application was thin. So make sure you are taking enough step 2 and you are placing it in a crisscross direction. Please do not overdo it. You cannot go over the second time. The minute you go over it the second time, you will lose the crackle effect. This can be done even on glass. It's very beautiful. Which are these products for crackle? Sorry, I missed it. This is a step 1, step 2 crackle from Deco Art. This is one of my favorites. And you really get good results with this, even on glass. You can make beautiful vases. You can make beautiful pots. You can also do it on the wooden base, the way I am doing it right now. I really wanted to make this a little vintage and a shabby look. So I'm going to put this crackle. This is a transparent crackle which is used only once your work is over. And I prefer to use this crackle on all the motifs other than the faces. Cracks developed on the faces really don't look good. It looks as if, there's a scar on her face. One obvious difference between using tissue and Decomania paper is that while using tissue for decoupage, since they are translucent, the background is almost clearly visible. So you can play with you background behind the paper too. Wherein in Decomania papers, since it is opaque, you can't really see. Yes, Priyanka, it is absolutely true. Once your paper is opaque, you are not worried about what is going to be seen on the back. The minute your paper is transparent, it is going to be a little bit of a problem. So you have to play around with your design and the placements for your decoupage accordingly. Once again, my step 2 is ready. I don't know how well I have put. I have tried my best to make it uniform, but I will get to know the results only once I try it. you all enjoying? I want lots of yeses. I hope you all are enjoying. Thank you, girls. I can see some cracks. I'm sure you all would not be able to see. Samriddhi, the MDF base currently which I am doing on, I have it with me. I think since you all really want it, I would give you all some off. Let me think for 2 minutes and I'll definitely, tell you all. So this has dried. Atulji, inside the box, I have used the Dress My Craft pattern paper, that is dots and stripes, to give a wall effect at the base. Now, how am I going to see my cracks? Since my base is cream and my cracks are transparent, how am I going to see the cracks? The best thing that is going to help me to show the cracks is the waxes. What are the waxes? We have Folk Art Home Decor waxes. One is antiquing wax and the other one is a clear wax. You also get a white wax. If you all know, abroad, people do all the work by themselves. So they paint the houses, they paint the furniture, everything by themselves. Right? So what is this? This wax is nothing else but also a sealer. Basically, once they have painted their furniture, they use this wax to seal the furniture and they leave it to dry. I'm going to remove a little bit of antiquing wax onto my palette, and the antiquing wax being absolutely very dark, I'm going to use a little bit of a clear wax to dilute it. Yes, Dakshaji, I have used the Dress My Craft pattern papers, the dots and stripes. This is one of the paper from the dots and stripes collection, which I have used inside. And Darshana, so for both the layers, step 1 and... Yes, for both the layers, step 1 and step 2, you can use the blow dryers. And you can also use your hair dryers, but please do not use heat guns. Heat guns are not meant for this. Now, I'll take a very little tinge of the antiquing wax. I'll mix it little with the clear wax and I'll make the shade that I would like to use. Say maybe I find this shade okay. If I want it light, I would add some more clear wax. If I want a little darker, I would add the antiquing wax. Can I shake, crackle and wax bottles before use? Yes, you can shake the bottles. In fact, it is good to shake the bottles. And what is the difference between wax names used? The antiquing wax is brown in color and the clear wax is transparent. There is also something called white wax, which I am not having it here right now. Now what am I going to do is, I am going to take this wax and start rubbing the wax onto my design underneath. Waxes come in 3 different shades. One is white, one is clear, and one is transparent. I am going to rub my fingers gently over the areas where I have put the step 1 and step 2 crackle. What happens is the wax will seep into the cracks. I'll do this quickly. My cracks have come a little super fine. That means the application of the step 2 was really not very thick. They are kind of little moderate. They are not super fine, but they are moderate. On the white areas, you will be immediately able to see it. Is there any other product other than these waxes to make the cracks? Yes, you can use the Prima waxes, the gold and the silver. So you would see gold and silver cracks if you seep into those waxes. The cracks are quite moderate here down. Dipti, the reason we use wax is so that the wax seeps into the cracks, since the crackle medium which we are using is transparent. So how are you going to define your cracks? These cracks are going to be defined with the help of the waxes. Because I don't want to use any other color, since after I apply the waxes, I'm going to take a clean cloth and I'm going to buff over it. So by buffing, the top layer of the wax is going to come onto my rag and the remaining wax is going to seep into the cracks. So I can see the design absolutely clear. At the same time, I have a crackle effect onto my design. Meera, you can't use step 1, step 2 on fabric, or maybe you can use, I have never tried it. Probably, you could just try it. Maybe on canvases, yes. If your bags have canvases, then you can. Do we have to seal the paper with a coat of Mod Podge before using? No. You don't have to apply the Mod Podge. Let the paper be as it is, because the step 1 has some effect with the step 2. If you all notice, the wax has seeped into the cracks and I have got the vintage look of this. And if we want some other color of cracks other than brown, what should be done? Into your clear wax, you can add any color, Jinu. Probably you could get it. Look at this, how gorgeous it is. And look at this. Now the windows are white or off-white. They are good. They are looking nice. But in case if I have to give them a little bit of an antique effect, what am I going to do? I'm going to take the same clear wax and I'm going to apply this onto the white area. Once again, I'm going to wipe it. So what happens is, this gives a little antique old look. At the same time, the wax gets filled into the deep grooves of the door. And this starts looking vintage. Can you see the difference between these two? This is looking quite antique and vintage, and this is still looking stark off-white. So this is what is the difference between the two. And this is going to complement your base. And if I have to also make my pink door vintage, again, I am going to use my wax, apply it onto the pink door as well. So the pink that is shining bright gets a little duller effect. All the waxes, all the chalk paints, All the materials used today for the live demo are available at crafterscorner.in, and don't forget there is a 10% sale where you can get it. The best offer. Can you see the difference between the two? This is looking so vintage and this is looking a little stark, fresh pink. So this is what is the difference between antiquing and keeping the bases clear. In case if I had the original door, which I had actually bought, it looked like this. This was a wooden base. So on the wooden base, if you have any furniture, if I have to apply my antique wax directly onto any furniture and then I'm going to wipe it off, once again I'm going to get the antique effect. And the wax by itself is a sealer. There is no need to do any kind of sealing on top of this. This by itself is absolutely enough to seal your projects or to seal your products or to seal your furnitures. This is one of the best wax that I have used, and if your base is dark and if you have used the step 1, step 2, then you can use the white crackle. If your base is black instead of white, what I had done today, and you use step 1, step 2, you can use the white wax, so you could see white wax into the cracks. Yes, Dakshaji, all the base, no, the base is available with me. The rest colors and everything is available with Crafters Corner. The door, the window, the colors, the waxes, the papers, the glues, the brushes, everything is available with Crafters Corner. And you could buy the wooden door or you could also buy the colored door. By default, yesterday I did not have any wooden door when I decided to do a live video. This was a blue color door on which I simply gave a single coat of pink chalk paint. And if you can see somewhere the blue is still there. So you can use chalk paints on any surface, on any base. Even if you get a blue and a pink door, it really doesn't matter. You can just paint over it. Also the window, if I have to make it vintage and antique, I am going to do that also. So once again, you apply your wax on the window and thereafter you can just wipe it with a cloth. After this, the last step and one step which I would love to show you all is how are you going to enhance your project more. I'll be sticking this window here. Clear wax is used to thin the antique wax, or is there any other use of clear wax? The clear wax is not used to thin the antique wax. The clear wax was used to tone down the antique wax because I wanted the lighter shade of a brown and the brown was too dark for me. Depends upon your utility. You can make the color light and dark with the help of a clear wax. Now the last step for this, as I told you all, you can actually enhance the project as much as you want. We have a beautiful collection of miniatures from Dress My Craft. And if you remember, last month we had taken a mixed media workshop and we had done a lot of texturing, stenciling, patina, rust and everything over this. So we had used different pieces of miniatures along with this. You could also use this kind of a stool or a cabinet inside, and you can enhance your project if you're not using it like a letterbox and if you simply want to use it like a miniature house. Close up. Okay. You can also use this chair table here. I hope you all can see. You can have this candle stand on the table inside. It's a very beautiful piece. You can add a blind inside the window. So this will again give you a different look. You can use all the possible accessories along with this. You could use some flower vases. You can use some kind of these beetles or the birds to enhance this. To complete my project, the last step, how do you fix the door? Yes, this is a very good question, Preeti. I am going to fix the door and the window with nothing else but heavy body gel, which we had discovered in the last Crafty Feast when Anna Dabrowska had come to India and we had done a mixed media class with her. In the entire sessions, we were introduced to this heavy body gel. Although this product was there in the market, but till then you do not use the product, you do not come to know the right utility of the products. So heavy body gel is one of the best medium to stick any kind of metal, any kind of wood or any kind of glass to any kind of surface. I'm going to take this little bit of heavy body gel. I'm going to put small lumps of it in the corners, and trust me, it is the sturdiest glue ever I have come across. Even for my treasure boxes for decoupage, we have stuck legs with this. It was amazing, I am telling you. Sometimes there are some small things which you get to learn, and we always feel that we know everything. But sometimes some small tips are so helpful and so useful to y'all that you could be carrying it along with y'all every time. Crafty Feast introduces you to new products, to new gadgets, to new techniques. Although we are crafters, we know everything, but learning has no age, learning has no end. Which glue you will stick door and window? Dipti, I'm using this heavy body gel. This is from Prima. This is by Finnabair Art Basics. It is one of the, and Dipti, I guess you are into canvas paintings and you are doing a lot of abstract paintings. If I am watching some of your posts, this is one medium which you must explore, where you can actually stick a lot of your metal things onto your canvas bases. It is amazing. This is a wonderful glue. I have stuck my door finally, and as I said, the last step that I really want to show you, and one product that I really would use it without fail into my decoupage, is stenciling. These are the stencils from Dress My Craft. You get many designs in this. I'll ask Shalini to forward the link here. You all can purchase, or you can see the designs. And since I know the back, the sides, and the a little bit, kind of a plain or just a little shaded, to enhance this, I would use stenciling. Stenciling is one very important element when it comes to be, doing stenciling very perfectly. You get a stencil brush. Once again, the stencil brushes are available in lots of sizes in crafterscorner.in. You could use thin or thick depending upon the size of your work or the size of your design or the space of your work. And to enhance my base, I'm going to play around with this stencil. And since it's a floral box, it's a floral concept, I'll take this kind of a floral thing coming from the top. If you feel your stencils is a little shaky and you want to make it more sturdier, you can use the masking tapes and you can tape the stencils on the sides and you would be able to get the results. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to use the sheepskin color, that is the white, and I hope you all can see, I'm going to dab my brush and remove the extra color then and there. Ma'am, please tell the Decomania paper code. Okay. The Decomania paper code is COD 051 BIS, BIS. This is available in Crafters Corner. There are two sizes in this. So you can actually grab both, and same design has two different sizes. Which brand stencil brush? The stencil brushes are available in various brands. Shalini, if you could help me out with, oh, she's already sent you the link for the stencil brushes. That's the best thing, Shalini. Thanks. So you take the stencil brush, you grab some color and you dab it. And you know what is the best part of the stencil brush? It is flat from top. This helps you to spread your color very much uniformly onto the base. And I am going to pounce. I am not going to rub to and fro. By rubbing to and fro, my brush bristle strokes can go underneath the stencil. So making sure I want a very stark and a very sharp design, I am going to use the stencil brush in a stippling manner. This technique, especially the artists who are painting canvases and doing a lot of artwork will know, this is called stippling. So basically you are going to stipple, making sure you are covering each and every corner of the design, and this helps you to take the design sharply. Make sure when you are buying your stencils that the designs are clear, the designs are intricate, the designs are sharp. Many a times I have come across stencils where the designs are only cut, with the stencil being of a little cheaper price is not going to give you a correct and a sharp image. So if your stencil is correct, if your stencil is perfect, you are definitely going to get a stark, smooth image. And I just remove this and you see how super clear and how absolutely straight or the design has been picked up in a very sharp way. Sponges can be used, but sponges 100% chances are that the color would seep underneath the stencil. Stencil brushes, trust me, will give you the best result for this stencil technique. So this is how you can enhance the sides of your bases and you can do the stenciling technique. Yes, Amita, this is a chalk paint. This was a sheepskin color chalk paint, and here is the final product in front of you. Any more questions? I hope you all have enjoyed it. I hope you all have liked it. I would love to see you all doing this and posting it, or maybe showing me, Darshana, I have done this. Month of May is for Mumbai, and from next week we have lots of one-day workshops coming up for Mumbai. Do not miss those workshops, wherein my entire course, the focus and the focal point is on covering up the techniques. Padma, how do we varnish this? The wax by itself is a varnish. So if I have already applied wax on the top, you simply apply one coat of wax on the sides and on the back. And when it comes to the paper, there is a paper inside where I have used a Dress My Craft pattern paper, dots and stripes. You could just simply use the Mod Podge. As we all know, Mod Podge is a glue, varnish and a sealer. Mod Podge by itself will be a varnish. And one more thing. Many of you all tell me that, Mod Podge is a little sticky. Yes, Mod Podge is a little sticky because our Indian climate is quite... it's very warm here and there is a lot of humidity. So due to that, every glue has some tackiness. And to solve this problem, the best way is apply your glue for sticking, apply your glue for varnishing, and thereafter we get a clear lacquer number 190, that is Bossini spray. Spray the Bossini. Trust me, lifelong you would not have this tackiness problem. And I have my products and I have my projects with me for the last 4 to 6 years. If you happen to come to me here and meet me, then definitely you can see none of my projects have any kind of Bossini. They are simply Mod Podge. If they are placed in a place where there is high humidity, you will find it stickiness. But otherwise there is no stickiness. Yes, Shalini, badly waiting for the crafty feast. It's coming soon. I know something that you would choose will be really very exciting. Something would be very, having a high knowledge, and definitely the subject would be different. We all are looking forward. Girls, do not miss the crafty feast, wherein you get to learn a lot. Although we are crafters, although we know lots of things, but still when you learn something, you always add on to your knowledge. That added knowledge can be used anywhere. Say maybe in your any courses or any of your projects, there is a lot of interconnection between the two. Had I known heavy body gel, I would not use this for sticking, maybe I would have just simply used it with a Fevicol. But now that I know heavy body gel is going to give me 100% results. And the most important thing, all these golden pieces I had chipped off from the door because I had to paint it. I didn't want them to get spoiled. I wanted them to be golden. At night, I chipped them off. I painted the door. And I actually stuck it back with the heavy body gel where I was very sure this would not help, this would not come off. Okay, thank you girls. Thanks for being a lot everyone. And I'm sure I'll come back soon with another live video very soon.